You are the subject of an unintended experiment. It is an experiment that has been running for approximately 100 years. The variables have been changed slowly, year by year, so that you wouldn't notice the shift. But if you look at the data, the rates of anxiety, the fragility of the human body, the restlessness of the human mind, the results of the experiment are becoming clear. We are living in the age of the great mismatch. You are inhabiting a world that your biology does not recognize. You are safer, warmer, and better fed than any emperor in history. You have conquered the three great enemies of your ancestors: hunger, cold, and predation. By all logic, this should be the golden age of human happiness, but it isn't. Instead, we feel a phantom pressure, a sense of weakness, a creeping suspicion that in our rush to make life easier, we have accidentally amputated a vital part of what makes us human. This is the story of the trade. It is the accounting of what you sold to buy your convenience. You traded your resilience for a thermostat. You traded your focus for a feed. You traded your biological sovereignty for a gilded cage. To understand why you feel the way you do, we have to dismantle the hidden systems of comfort that surround you and reveal the steep price you are paying for a life of least resistance. Let's begin the audit with the most fundamental trade: the betrayal of your own metabolism. For 200,000 years, the human body was an energy processing machine designed for variance. It was built for the oscillation between feasting and fasting, between extreme exertion and deep rest, between searing heat and biting cold. This variance was not just something we tolerated, it was the signal that kept our systems online. Today you live in the thermo-neutral zone. We have engineered a world that sits permanently at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. You move from a climate-controlled home to a climate-controlled vehicle to a climate-controlled office. You have effectively outsourced your body's thermoregulation to a machine on the wall. This sounds like a luxury, but to your biology, it is a signal of decay. When you are never cold, you lose your brown adipose tissue. This is a metabolically active fat that burns energy to generate heat. It is your internal furnace. By living in eternal comfort, you have allowed this furnace to go cold. Your vascular system, which is designed to constrict and dilate like a muscle, has atrophied. You have become thermally fragile. This is why a slight draft feels like an assault. It is not that the cold is dangerous, it is that you have forgotten how to be warm. But the physical trade goes deeper than temperature. It extends to the very structure of your face. Look at the skulls of our ancestors from 500 years ago. They had wide jaws, straight teeth, and open airways. Now, look at modern humans. Our jaws are receding, our teeth are crowded, our airways are narrowing. Why? Because we traded the effort of chewing for the comfort of soft calories. We stopped eating tough, fibrous foods that required force. We switched to processed grains, smoothies, and soft meats. Without the mechanical stress of chewing, the bones of the face do not develop properly. We literally shrank our own skeletons to make dinner easier. The result is a population that chokes on its own tongue during sleep, the epidemic of sleep apnea. We traded our breath for soft food. Now let's move to the second, and perhaps more dangerous trade: the neurochemical collapse. The human brain operates on a reward system. The primary currency of this system is dopamine. In the ancestral environment, dopamine was the fuel for pursuit. You didn't get the reward for free. You had to track the gazelle, climb the tree for honey, or build the shelter. The friction was the prerequisite for the feeling. The effort made the reward valuable. The modern world has hacked this system. We have removed the friction. You can now access the dopamine hits of social connection, sexual novelty, and caloric density without moving from your chair. You have infinite novelty in your pocket, but the brain is not designed for a free lunch. When you flood the system with unearned dopamine, the brain fights back to restore homeostasis. It downregulates your receptors. This is the mechanism of tolerance. To feel normal, you now need a level of stimulation that would have overwhelmed an ancient human. You have traded your capacity for joy for a constant state of low-level amusement. This is why you can spend 3 hours scrolling through high-stimulation content and feel absolutely nothing but emptiness at the end. You are overfed, yet malnourished. You have traded the deep satisfaction of long-effort achievements for the cheap thrill of short-loop feedback. This trade has destroyed your relationship with boredom. And make no mistake, boredom was a vital asset. Boredom is the default mode network of the brain trying to engage. It is the birthplace of creativity, planning, and self-reflection. When you kill boredom with a phone, you kill the ability to think clearly. You traded your internal monologue for the noise of the algorithm. You are no longer the author of your own thoughts. You are merely the consumer of other people's. The third trade is the trade of competence for safety. We live in a culture that worships safetyism. We believe that the ideal life is one with zero risk. We have child-proofed our society, extending adolescence well into our 30s. But there is a hidden law in systems theory called anti-fragility. Some things break under stress, like a glass. But some things need stress to get stronger, like a muscle, or a bone, or the human spirit. By removing all risk, all danger, and all conflict from your life, you have not made yourself safe. You have made yourself fragile. We have outsourced our competence. We don't navigate. We use GPS. We don't remember. We use Google. We don't fix things. We buy new ones. Every time you outsource a struggle to a machine or a service, you are letting a skill die. You are becoming a passive passenger in your own life. The consequence of this is a phantom anxiety. Your brain is a threat detection engine. It evolved to spot tigers in the grass. But there are no tigers in your office. There are no tigers in the suburbs. However, the threat detection system does not turn off. It simply recalibrates. It lowers its threshold. This is why you feel a spike of adrenaline when you receive a rude email. This is why a difference of political opinion feels like a life or death battle. This is prevalence-induced concept change. When real problems disappear, we invent new ones to keep our anxiety machinery running. You traded the honor of fighting real dragons for the misery of fighting ghosts. The fourth trade is the chronobiological trade. We are creatures of the sun. For millions of years, our biology was orchestrated by the frequency of light. Blue light from the sun signaled awake, alert, you hunt. The red hues of fire and the darkness of night signaled rest, repair, sleep. We have traded this rhythm for the eternal noon. We sit under LED lights and stare at blue light emitting screens until midnight. We have declared war on the night. By doing so, we crush our melatonin production. We prevent our bodies from entering the deep restorative stages of sleep, where cellular repair happens. We traded the restoration of our cells for 2 more hours of passive entertainment. We are a species that is chronically jet-lagged, living in a time zone that does not exist in nature. We are tired, not because we worked hard, but because we have broken the clock that runs our biology. So, the audit is complete. The results are undeniable. You traded your bone density for a chair. You traded your metabolic fire for a heater. You traded your attention span for a feed. You traded your competence for convenience. You bought comfort, but the price was your vitality. This sounds like a tragedy, but it is actually an opportunity, because once you see the bars of the cage, you can begin to dismantle them. The system relies on you being unconscious. It relies on you taking the path of least resistance. But you possess a quiet power that the system cannot touch, the power of voluntary hardship. You can reverse the trade, but it requires you to become a rebel in your own life. It means intentionally reintroducing the stressors that civilization removed. It means embracing the cold shower, not as a hygiene ritual, but as a vascular workout. It means lifting heavy iron, not for vanity, but to tell your bones they are still needed. It means embracing the fast. It means feeling the hunger and realizing it is not an emergency, but a fuel source. It means turning off the phone and sitting in the silence, forcing your brain to confront itself until the boredom breaks through into clarity. It means doing things the hard way on purpose. Taking the stairs, walking the distance, reading the complex book, engaging in the difficult conversation. You must understand that comfort is a beautiful place to visit, but it is a terrible place to live. Comfort is a stasis field. It preserves you, but it prevents you from growing. The world wants you weak, distracted, and dependent. It wants you to be a domestic animal, safe, fed, and obedient. But the wolf inside you is still there, pacing back and forth, waiting for the gate to open. You traded your wildness for comfort without realizing it. Now that you know the price, the question remains, are you willing to buy it back? The transaction begins the moment you choose friction over ease. The transaction begins now.